Hi everybody, and welcome to Amy Nolte Music. This video is brought to you today by NordVPN. Recently, I've been traveling the country, going to some jazz camps, and something troubling has happened more than once that I wanted to address today. And a lot of times I make videos where I sit over there at the piano and I have an overhead camera on my hands, right? So that everybody can see my hands. When I first started making YouTube videos, I didn't do that. I just had the video on my face or the camera on my face. And then everybody complained and they said, we need to see your hands. And at first I was like hesitant to do that. And I'm going to tell you why. As time went on, I discovered a few things. I discovered that I needed to make some PDFs to go along with those videos because, and I needed to have a camera above my hands because people are visual. They like to see stuff and not just hear it. And my brain doesn't work that way so much when it comes to music. I like to hear people talk about stuff and then implement it myself, but I know that I'm unique that way. And what I feared was that if I showed my hands, then people wouldn't listen to what I was talking about. They wouldn't listen to me say, all right, in order to play this kind of voicing, we're gonna find the third and we're gonna find the seven. And of course, in the key of F, I would talk them through it. I would say the interval of a major third, and then we're gonna go a half step down from the root. This is how you find your third and seven, right? I didn't want to just put my hands on an A and an E and have people go, all right, next, I've got the A and E, what's next? I didn't want that because I always say that I want to teach you to fish and not catch the fish for you. So that was a struggle of mine as I started YouTube, and I've tried to navigate it as I've moved forward, trying to understand how everybody learns differently and make it easy for everybody. But now and then, people make this comment. Why don't you have the software where you have your keyboard and another keyboard below it and all the keys light up green when you play your keyboard? And I am just like, no, that's what I'm like. And I'll tell you why. I've adamantly said, no, that's not what I'm going to do. It's been proven to me over and over again as I, not just this summer, but just years of people playing piano for me and wherever. Recently, somebody sent me a video of a kid playing piano, and it just said, "Is he good?" I needed a little more context, but here's the deal: the kid was playing a Coldplay song, and I could see his fingers, and he was doing a lot of this. Played the song, sounded like the song, but using really weird techniques to get the song across. And I just wrote back to my friend and said, well, this kid has learned this Coldplay song from a YouTube video. It looks like they haven't taken any piano lessons. So, the kid might be good, but he didn't learn to play that Coldplay song with correct fingering. This happened to me more recently when I was at one of these camps and somebody asked me how to play the melody to Moanin'. And I, boo boo dee dee da boo da, and I'm using these fingers, right? The kid put their hand on the piano and they play 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, something like that. And I said, all right, let's set your hand. We've got to make room. So if we're gonna go ba 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 ba, we have to leave room for your thumb. We also can't switch which finger is playing on which key when we have another finger that could do it, and we don't even have to move our hand, right? So as I tried to walk this kid through how to do the fingering for Moanin', it became super clear to me that even though this kid was kind of one of the stars of the camp that I was at, and I was so impressed by him, he just had never sat down with a piano teacher to teach him home position, middle C, line your fingers up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you play a chord, it should be 1, 3, 5, you know. It shouldn't. I taught another kid who wanted to play all of his chords with these 3 fingers. And I asked both of them, how have you learned? Like, I thought you were, you know, killing it earlier. Like, you're playing pretty impressively. How did you learn that song you played? I learned it from YouTube, from the green keys that light up. Because these other creators, I don't know who they are. And I'm sure they're very well-meaning. And their software is fancy. But they're not placing enough importance on technique, on the fact that if you learn to play Fur Elise with the wrong fingering, I mean, it does something for you. It lets you play for your friends and family, and they can be proud of you, and that's fine and it's valid. It just won't let you get to the next step. You know, you can't walk into music school and say, I can play Fur Elise, I can play a Bach invention, I can play this song by Coldplay, I can play whatever jazz arrangement that I've learned. Like learning things like that it's kind of like only learning to speak a language by learning random sentences that only get used once a day. You know, if I learn how to say the grass in front of your house is beautiful, very green, you know, what good does it do me if I don't sit down and learn the verbs and the adjectives and the conjugations, and like starting from square one. I even gave a basketball analogy when I was at one of these camps. I saw Steph Curry pass beautiful alley-oop to LeBron James the other day. Go Team USA. And I thought, that's next level, right? Like, Steph Curry didn't learn to throw that beautiful pass his first couple years in basketball. He learned to do a chest pass. He learned to do his overhead pass. He learned to do a bounce pass, right? It's somewhere along the way, after he had those fundamentals, then he could play Fur Elise. You see what I mean? Like there's an order to things. And it's like, I feel like a stick in the mud if I say that you can't ever do this. I don't want to say that. But I do want to say that just taking like a year of piano lessons from, Mrs. Smith down the street, who has 40 students and uses the same books for everybody, there's value in that. I used to think when I was like a teenager and I was making some money giving piano lessons, this is what I thought. I thought, all right, when I have kids of my own, or when I'm teaching these kids, I'm going to teach them all the things that were hard for me in the beginning so that they're not hard for them later. I thought, first song we're going to play is going to be in F sharp. I'm going to get them comfortable with the black keys, you know, and I thought, I'm not even going to teach them about 1, 3, and 5 for chords, because what good does that do me? I get to jazz school, nobody ever lets me play the 1 or the 5, right? I have to play the 9 and the 13. And so I was like, from the beginning, I'm going to teach these kids C7 is E, B flat, D, and A. That's it. It's C7. That's going to save them so much time when they get to college. But Amy, grew up a little bit and realized that, well, whatever, you can't put the cart before the horse, right? You can't teach the alley-oop before you teach the bounce pass. You can't play Fur Elise before you learn to play Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Like, it's true. So this is just my little message to you today, to say that if you're learning to play piano with somebody with the light up keys, or if you have purchased something that is like a video game and you are getting a score on how well you play the keys in the right order, you're not learning to play the piano. If you're having fun and it serves your purpose, I take it all back. If you're having fun, it serves your purpose. You're not going to make a living at this. You don't want to play with people. You don't want to go to school. Keep going. I'm happy for you that you found a way to play piano. Playing piano is awesome. So in whatever way you can play piano, you should play piano. That's not up for debate. But if you'd like to go further, and if you want to make it more important in your life, go take a year or two of piano lessons and learn how to place your fingers on the keys. Learn about what height to have your piano bench at, about what angle to set your arms at, about how to relax your shoulders. Like all these things that later on can mess up your piano playing should be learned right at the beginning. There's an order for things if you want to be serious, and I'm just here to tell you, take a step back. It's okay if you can already play for your release, like Coldplay songs galore. It's fine. Just learn to put your fingers on the right keys. Give your hand room so that if you need to play these 5 keys and then these 5 keys, you don't have to move your hand like this. You learn to reach under with your thumb and make room. If you're coming down from this way, you learn to reach over with your 3rd finger or with your 4th finger and leave yourself room. Set yourself up for success. Both hands. Another way that I've been setting myself up for success lately is with the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. NordVPN is more than just a VPN. It's a whole suite of threat protection tools. You've probably heard about the recent huge data leak where a lot of people have had their accounts taken over, their passwords stolen. Well, NordVPN includes specific features to warn you about phishing leaks. There are blockers for malicious ads and dark web monitoring to let you know if any of your passwords have ever been leaked. Of course, it's also a VPN, which means that as you surf the web anonymously, your location stays private. It lets me set my location to anywhere around the globe so that maybe some of the series that I like to watch on my favorite streaming services, if they get canceled in the United States, I just tell them that I'm somewhere else where it hasn't been canceled and I can still watch. My husband can also watch tennis matches that he wouldn't have had access to otherwise. And it's super helpful for when I'm traveling outside of the country and I'm trying to access websites that I always use, like Gmail. As long as I set my VPN to look like I'm in the United States, it's never a hassle. If you'd like to give NordVPN a try, click right here on the link that you see on the screen, and you're going to get my code that gives you a great big old discount on a 2-year plan with an additional 4 months for free. It's totally risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. I've been super glad that I've had it ever since the day that I first signed up years ago. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.